Hello, welcome to another episode of the Baylor Dynasty. I know I've been taking my time with these, releases in between them, but I promise you it's going to become more consistent because of the fact that we're finally in the playoff and I got the playoff done. Basically, I'm just going to make it really simple because I am not trying to do like a crazy amount of detail in this playoff. I'm just going to show you the scores. We'll kind of take a closer look, but we'll mainly just zoom through it so that way we can get to the offseason. But this episode's just going to be, as far as I'm concerned, just the playoff. And then we'll start to look into the offseason and what we need to do next, but also look at our players' stats and stuff like that. Like, there is one thing that I did not do. That was on the stats. I realized when we were looking at the defensive, I didn't show picks. So this is us. We had 7 picks on the year. We did a really good job. 7 INTs on the season is like really good. Tevin Williams had 3. Jenkins had 2. So we had some youngins going out there and making plays. You look at sacks, TJ Franklin, Hall, 2 seniors, 2 ends that are gone, and then you got Matt Jones. So really that guy's next. So he's got to do a good job for us. All right, so this is the first round of the playoff. If you look closely, you can see the scores there, and you see who advanced, obviously. Let's start with that Georgia game. Georgia 48, Oregon 37. Most of these games in the playoff, I'm not going to lie to you, I fell asleep, especially even the national championship. You take a look at LSU falling as a 5 seed against Ohio State. Ohio State winning that game. And you see North Carolina got absolutely killed. They got killed against Washington. That's a bad loss. That's horrible. Then you take a look, Bama dominating K-State. I mean, dude, they were there to play. Then you look at the next game, Notre Dame, just a classic game, 27-17. Just 2 slow-paced offenses. Just couldn't really get much going. The last game is a sim. Oklahoma, the reason why I simmed it out is because the first game, it froze in the 4th quarter, and they were up like 52-14 or something like that. They killed them. They played perfect. Like, I'm telling you, it was such a good game of just domination. Like, I mean, Boise State couldn't do anything against them. It froze to start the 4th quarter. I was like, okay, hey, anyone's ball game here. I'm actually down for it. Maybe Boise State strikes back. The next game, it gets all the way through, and I believe Oklahoma still wins it by double digits. So you're like, damn. Boise State once again could not move the ball. And then the third time, doing like a different scheme where I was going to record like highlights from the game, and I had done that. For some reason, I was sorting by the name. I don't know why I did that, but as soon as I did that, it froze. So the whole game went through, and then it just froze when I was looking at the stats. So that was great. Then we go ahead and do it again, and Oklahoma wins again by double digits. Boise State just could not move the football because Taylon Green, I believe is his name, he just likes to scramble. So he never gave his wide receivers a chance to go out there and make a play. He got sacked a lot, and he threw a lot of picks. That next game, I got all the way through, and then right when I click on to load in the stats or the highlight reel, it just froze. So I was like, yeah, I'm not doing this anymore. It's clear as day, Oklahoma's moving to the next round. So let's just take a closer look at these games. This game, just breaking it down. We're going to keep it very simplistic, though. As you can see, Notre Dame had a pretty good 4th quarter to kind of even come back, because it looks like they had to come back a little bit. But how about that pick 6 right there? That really killed Florida's momentum, and then it became a 10-point game. How about Florida with no offense in terms of passing? Like 65 yards passing. They couldn't pass the ball. They got locked down. How about Notre Dame? Threw the ball a lot, but how about those 4 picks? Notre Dame threw 4 picks, and they still won that game. That's not good. It's not good at all. Ertz, classic. Johnson, hell of a game. looks like 1, 1, 1. There's another 1, 2 right there. 1, 1. We're really just going to skip through this because this is sim material. So it really doesn't matter just as long as they won the game. So, I mean, that's just kind of the score. This is the sim. This is the sim. He can't even do anything simulated. Not in the game. Just like, what the... He had a great day. All right. Oh, yeah. Yeah. I think I do remember something and recall something about this. Dude, this was a crazy comeback. What's that score? Dude, Oregon was controlling the pace of the game. I mean, what is that? 20-7 at half? It looks pretty dominating, right? And then that's 27. That's 27-7. So you think the game's over because they're just running it. Then Georgia comes back, makes it 27-14, right? Then you get 34-14. So you're thinking, okay, well, they're just going to keep slinging the ball, and basically Oregon's running out of here. Dude, Georgia said no. And then before you knew it, it's 34-21. Okay, they're kind of still there. And then they get that field goal. I saw that 4-4-4. But then they get the field goal. Now it's 37-21, right? So you're like, okay, it's 37-21. They're down 16. They're down 16. What the hell? And then right here, seal the deal. 94 yards. That means Oregon was in position to score. And if you take 7 off of there, you'll realize that they had 41. That means it was 37-41 with 16 seconds left. And Oregon was in position at the 6-yard line to make a play. In terms of score, win the game. He threw a pick 6. What a day. What a game, honestly, that was. How about the comeback from Georgia and everything? I mean, Carson Beck threw 5 picks that game, and he got the win. I'm telling you, dude, these guys come to play. You know? I want to see defensively on these picks. Looks like just 1. Everyone just got their own pick. All right, the next one is LSU struggling, it looks like, and... yeah, I mean, it's not really much to say. It was pretty neck and neck. They actually had the lead at half, but Ohio State won that third quarter. Excuse me. There it is right there. So once again, it came down to the wire. LSU had a position, had a chance, and they were moving the ball. They were about to. They're at the 33-yard line, it looks like, about to get into the red zone, and it was 28-26. They had a chance to win the game by a field goal. Made a poor mistake, and a pick 6 cost them. Once again, really good game. And that's what I love about this. But you see in these sims, dude, these guys are throwing picks. Like, it's just happening. How about McCord playing a little bit smarter than he has normally? All right, so this game, for some reason, it's glitched and won't show any of that. But just know he played a hell of a game. But just know here, yeah, he threw 6 picks. He threw for 400 yards, but he threw 6 picks. Who over there? Did anyone have like a hat trick? That's 2 pick 6s there, I bet. That's 50 yards on average. One of those is definitely a pick 6, and the other one is damn near a pick 6. How about this one? This one could arguably be a pick 6 too. Like, what was he doing out there? What was he doing? Another 26-yard return. They put up a ton of points on them. Like, this was just ridiculous. How about McCollum with 8 receptions, 186 yards, and 2 touchdowns? All right, so hopefully I took care of every game with Georgia, LSU, North Carolina, Bama, Notre Dame, Oklahoma. We talked through all of them. Now we look at the next round, which is, I mean, you got these guys coming in. You see Bama on the top right making a play, winning a game against a very good Oregon State team. That in real life would happen all the time though, but how about Texas? And actually, speaking of that, Texas and Georgia play here in just 10 minutes. What if that's the actual score too? What if that's the prediction? I actually have Georgia probably winning that game. I mean, But isn't that interesting? Not a coincidence, but what an interesting turn of events here that we happen to be doing this episode on the same day that Texas and Georgia happen to be playing IRL, you know? And you got, the funny thing is too, you almost have it perfect too. If Georgia was the 5 seed, then obviously it wouldn't work out in this bracket, but that would be just very funny, just seeing that. But as you can see, Texas won by 10. And then Ohio State came and smacked Washington, which just shows how bad North Carolina is. Oklahoma gets a 10-point win over Notre Dame, and I thought that was going to be one of the most interesting games, seeing if Notre Dame, because they were so defensively dominant, but their offense just doesn't flow, to see if they could compete against a high-scoring offense in Oklahoma. Doesn't look like they could, and we'll take a closer look at them. All right, so I just encountered an error, and unfortunately, these stats from these games are not showing up because it's just getting all jumbled, and it's thinking they're either previous games or further down the line games. All we're going to be able to do from now on is just show just the scores here, because after round 1 it just gets all glitchy because the teams are still the same, and so they have to fill in a different it's just really glitchy. But anyway, we saw the scores there, and we're just going to continue moving forward here on this. The next matchup is Texas at Ohio State and Bama at Oklahoma. As you can see, Texas sneaks away, and it looks like Bama sneaks away in a very thrilling sort of game. Like, both teams played well. It looks like all 4 teams deserve to be in there. I'm surprised to see Oklahoma go as far as they did, considering that they got smacked against Texas. However, it doesn't look like that rivalry rematch was going to happen. It's so close, but couldn't get it done. So now we're looking at the national championship. The 1 seed stayed, but there's actually a 7 seed in here at the championship. I mean, it's Bama, so you kind of understand. Yeah, you'd be like, all right, but it's Bama, man. It doesn't matter if they're the 12th seed. They're probably getting up there, right? That's still respect. Being a 7 seed and letting go of the circumstance of which team it is. Let's see how that last game goes. All right, so you see the score here, and you see Texas. It's crazy being a Nebraska fan and even like smiling about this, but Texas finishes 16-0, 33-17. They take care of Bama in that championship game. Clearly, undisputably, the best team in college football this year. And I'm going to try to see if I can check the stats on this game. That would be great to take a look at. But let's go ahead and try to take a look here. So this is kind of that explanation that I'm trying to say here. I am, just so you guys can get a look and see. So as you can see, it's Bama and K-State, but the score up top doesn't match it, and you can't see the statistics as well. It's the same thing here, but you see the score, right? It's different, and you see Ohio State in there. So that's what I'm kind of saying with I'm having difficulties with that. But anyway, great season. All in all, I'm going to check to see if we have a little more time to dig into a couple more things. I know it's kind of lengthy, but that's exactly why I didn't want to show highlights, because it's just too much. Let's just get through this. All right, so I'm actually just going to call it here. This is just going to be the end of the episode, but I'm going to continue recording. We're just going to start splitting this up. In the next episode, we're going to try to look at the Heisman winner, championship contenders maybe for next year, award winners, All-Americans, and you can kind of see where Dunson actually finished in terms of All-American status, and it's really, really good. It makes me feel a lot better about this year as a whole, but I'm very, very excited to show you guys those things, and then we'll start the off-season, which is going to involve the transfer portal. You know, we're going to take a deep dive into the transfer portal. We're going to try to recruit some people, and then we're also going to look at switching around certain teams in conference play. Like I said, I'm leaving it at this retro style where Texas and Oklahoma are in the Big 12. I'm leaving it like that. I just want to see how it plays out and just kind of still live in that older sense of college football. But we're going to move Boise State out of, I think they're in the MWC, just so they can have a respectable chance, I guess,
to do something. That way we don't run into anything like this again. But yeah, I hope y'all have a great day. It's TMD, that man Drin. See ya.